What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Celluloid Psychosis. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me, as always, is the very handsome, the very British, the king of Salisbury himself, Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, I am very good, very very good. Very hot. It's very hot again, but I am good, man. Looking forward to discussing this week's movie,
Yeah.
one I've never seen before.
It's a different one for us, you know?
Yeah. But
What
no,
you
man,
do this week?
wow, I've had a good week. I've had a really good week actually so far. It's still going. Had a really nice weekend with the girlfriend. We went to the seaside, went down the south coast, South Sea. There's a really old school pier it's two piers actually, with like old arcade games, little rides and stuff. We had a wander around, took a nice walk along the beach. Yeah, all that good stuff. Had a nice burger. I wasn't gonna have fish and chips, so I decided on a burger. Real nice to get out. But most importantly, I've had two really good physical medias drop through my door so far this week. That is Arrow's 4K of Zombie Flesh Eaters, Zombie to you guys, and Grindhouse releasing The Beyond in 4K, the 6-disc extravaganza. Now, I haven't watched either of them yet, but I will do that by the end of the week. But man, they look incredible. Obviously, The Beyond is getting rave reviews everywhere. So I was super happy to snap up a copy of that. It's pretty hard to get hold of on these shores, unless you want to pay eBay scalper prices, which I do not want to pay. So I was very lucky. But yeah, man, that is my week. How about yours, TJ?
Man, it's been pretty eventful over here. Been very busy at work, pretty flat out as usual. Wife and I got a new firearm. We got a new Glock 43X. And it's been overhauled by a company called Weapon Works in North Carolina. So it's Cerakoted, the slides urban camo. And then, of course, the handle's stippled different and it's gray because I can't just have anything stock. Everything has to be extra. Very cool. I will be showing that off here very soon. Probably not on here because that's how you get yourself shadow banned and all that stuff because Facebook, hates the Second Amendment and all that stuff. But, got some physical media in, got my Kino Lorber order in this week, got my Vinegar Syndrome order this week, and my pre-order for Phoenician Scheme came in yesterday.
Nice.
So I'm very excited to watch that and, of course, dip into this big box of movies I got because Kino Lorber had their sale recently, and some of these movies were as low as $8. So I really can't pass on that. So I got films like Double Trouble, Barbarians, Mystery Men, I'm Dangerous Tonight. What else did I get? Uncle Buck. So there's just some. I think I got 11 films in total, and then I got my Vincent order this week. Carrie 2, The Rage. That movie's absolutely a banger. And Dario Argento's The Card Player in 4K. Already own that one from Scorpion Releasing, but you need 2 copies. I like that stuff. But, I'm excited about this week's movie. It is my pick this week. It's a movie that you really don't hear talked about a lot. But Norm Macdonald passed away not too long ago, but enough that people aren't talking about him. And it's sad. I mean, other than Shane Gillis, who actually gave him a tribute there at the ESPYs Awards by telling one of his jokes, Norm is a legend. He is one of the best comedic people of our time. His stand-up is legendary. His podcast, legendary. And, of course, Artie Lang as well. Howard Stern essentially introduced me to these people. Billy Madison as well, if you've ever watched that. There are cameos in there. Fantastic actors, fantastic comedians. Paul, you said you've never watched this movie.
No.
Yeah, it kind of slipped under your radar a bit.
Yeah, I remember the cover.
Yeah.
That's about it. So here in the UK, Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang, Saturday Night Live, all that sort of stuff is not a big thing over here at all.
Yeah.
So it went very under the radar for me. Very under the radar. I remember seeing the cover on the VHS, and that's about it. It's not a film that I've ever seen until now. So this is completely not a new experience for me.
And it was directed by the late Bob Saget, another absolute legend. And the movie is, extremely competently directed. I have no complaints about it. Yeah, the comedic timing is awesome. It's edited properly. And really can't say anything bad about it, you know?
Hmm.
Uh, Dead hookers in the truck. Absolutely, Joe. Dead hookers in the truck. Actually, I have to look at my notes here because I actually wrote notes down for this episode because I love this movie so much. What's one? Settle down, prostitutes. One of my favorite movie.
How many times have you said that in real life?
Never, but I kind of want a reason to say it. Another one of my favorite lines from this movie is "Time to pay the fiddler, whore." That's a Chris Farley quote. Uh, and another Chris Farley quote is, "Sometimes you gotta remind the hen who the rooster is." That's one of the final things this character says before the movie concludes. So damn good. But this movie was written by Frank Sebastiano, Norm Macdonald, and Fred Wolf. Starring, as we mentioned before, Norm Macdonald as Mitch, Artie Lang as Sam, Jack Warden as Pops, Trailer Howard as Kathy, and Christopher McDonald, the guy who eats shit for breakfast,
Hmm.
as Travis Cole. The plot of this movie essentially is get ready for revenge with a punchline. Mitch Weaver is a lifelong underachiever with a big mouth and zero direction until his best friend Sam needs a $50,000 heart transplant for his dad. Desperate for cash and a hand job. His dad would actually proceed.
Yeah.
Desperate for cash and armed with nothing but sarcasm and spite, the two launch a revenge for hire business. Dirty work. They do the nasty things you wish you could do to your enemies. For real. Need a guy's car filled with rotting fish? They got you. Want to ruin a corrupt developer's grand opening with hookers and skunks? Say no more. But with a shady real estate mogul double cross them, Mitch and Sam crank their annex up into high gear, setting up an explosive showdown of epic pranks, secret tapes, and a one very confused opera audience. Packed with ridiculous gags, cameos with comedy royalty, Chevy Chase, Don Rickles, Chris Farley in his final film role, the enough quotable one-liners to fill a revenge notebook. Dirty Work is a cult classic that proves revenge in a dish best served hilariously. Where the fuck did you get that?
I thought that was from the back of the Vincent. Is that not? Is that from the back of the Vincent?
I'd
Maybe.
have to check. Let me look in the wall of movies. Wall of movies, where are you? What did we say?
I try and keep it legit. I like grab the blurb from a release. Yeah. Only now do I understand that nasty cover and why they
Yes.
did it.
What am I looking for?
What's the blurb on the back of the
Oh yeah.
on the
Revenge is sweet
slipcase
and
there?
surprisingly affordable. No,
I did not. Where did I get it from then? I've got no idea.
no, it's different.
Do you know? I don't know where I got it. How far I got it from the
It sounds
Vincent.
like filthy AI, Paul. That's what it sounds like.
No, I wouldn't do
No,
that.
we don't do such things.
No.
Anyway, let's talk about this movie, Paul.
Okay. You want me to talk?
Yeah. So, what's your initial thoughts?
Well, I went in with honestly quite low expectations. I don't know. For me, I remember seeing the cover, like I said, and the cover. Well, not talking about the Vince Simon, but the original cover, VHS artwork, and that doesn't. I don't know. There's not much going on there.
It's just like Norm Macdonald chilling on a brick wall, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know who Norm Macdonald was back in the day, and I don't know. And I think it was I think it was a PG over here. So what 98, 99 when that film came out, I would have been around 20, 21. So I was not looking for PG friendly comedies at the time, I guess, and especially ones with stars who I didn't know. So honestly, at the time, I never watched the film, and I've never really known much about it at all. And it wasn't until the last few months when the buzz started going around that Vinegar Syndrome were going to release it, and I was like, why is everyone getting so excited about it? And obviously you got excited about it, and yeah, I ended up watching it. We're doing it for this episode, and no word of a lie, I really, really enjoyed it, man. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Within minutes, I thought it's got the same vibe as Dumb and Dumber, and obviously they're pretty much the same era. I think Dumb and Dumber was a year after, was it? I think, or a year or two after. It's got that exact sort of feel to it, the comedy, the look of the film, and I love Dumb and Dumber. So yeah, I was sold within like the first few minutes. But when
That flashback
it's
scene's
got Mitch, yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, when they're playing their kids, it's very topical for today as well, for
Mhm.
the today's times with the touchy feely lollipop guy. Um, yeah, no, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was really really good. I actually watched it twice um, in the last week.
But you
So
haven't watched the dirtier cut,
no, so yeah, obviously the dirtier version
which is
is
only available on the
only
Vincent
available
release.
on Vinegar Syndrome. So I watched the streaming version, which is the PG cut. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, I've only seen the clean version or the cleaner version of it. And there's a really interesting story. I did watch a documentary on YouTube,
Yes,
which I
Vincent
forwarded
one.
to you. You'd already seen it. Yeah, there's a Vincent one, but there's someone else has done one as well. Just talking about all the effort that Vincent went into, and it's yeah, it's pretty crazy. So they obviously sourced those bits from VHS tape, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they've cleaned them right up. Um, and it's quite an
A
interesting
lot of it's
story.
dialogue changes. Like he says like a lot more awful things in the
Yeah,
dirtier
yeah,
to
yeah,
each other.
yeah, yeah. There's and there's the backstory to it as well. So there's old interviews with Chevy Chase
Uh-huh.
and Artie Lounge on a podcast. I think it was with Howard Stern. I think maybe,
Sounds about right.
and that's when people first knew about it because Chevy Chase mentioned it, saying that some of the stuff, jokes, really good stuff was actually it was the donut scene was cut. That's what Chevy Chase
Yeah.
mentioned, um, which they show on this documentary, and I thought that is exactly my sort of humor, my sort of stupid,
Yeah.
immature humor. So it's a shame it got cut, but it is.
My favorite thing that got cut
Mhm,
is the jail scene. The extended jail sequence. Now, in
mhm,
the normal version, it's alluded to that he gets raped.
yeah,
He actually says it in the
mhm,
dirty version, and he drags on the joke like
yeah,
super long, like to the point where you're uncomfortable and you want it to stop, and he keeps going. And it's something that like really didn't take on till like The Office, that type of stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's super awkward. It's super over the top, and I love everything about it. Yeah, the subject matter is fucked, but like at the same time, that's the point. That's Norm Macdonald's like
Yeah.
humor. That's the whole
Mhm,
essence of him. He's joking about something that's extremely fucked up, but like we all know it's fucked up, so we can all
mhm,
laugh with him. And it's great, and he does that several times. One of my favorite gags that he's such a physical guy as well that I don't think people really give him credit for. Not Artie as much as Norm, but like all the gags and the repeated shots of him getting thrown out of businesses
mhm.
throughout this movie, or the
That's
dumpster shot.
the dumb
That's
shot. Yeah.
hilarious, absolutely fantastic. And
No, I got to mention his note to self jokes all throughout the film as
yes,
well. When he just pulls out his tape recorder.
I love that stuff. It's great. And, we mentioned it briefly. It's absolutely star studded.
Hmm.
You can tell.
Yeah, I went in blind, not knowing about that all the cameos in
Is
this.
this
So
like a Saturday Night Live thing? Like,
yeah, I guess so. I listed. This wasn't all of them. This is the
I'm
ones
going
that
to go
I
to
really
IMDb so we
realised.
can actually
So I'll tell
really
you the ones
give
I
it.
went through then. So obviously Chris Farley. I mean, Chris Farley is not really is it a cameo. It's more of a role, really. Chris
No,
Farley.
because there's the whole subplot
Wait,
of
he's
Chris Farley's character in the
yeah.
Saigon Horror.
Hmm. Hmm. So we've got Chris Farley. We've got obviously Chevy Chase as the Doctor.
Yep.
David Koechner.
Yep.
Koechner. Um, Boyd Banks shows up in this. So I know him as the guy from Land of the Dead. I think that's some Romero film you've mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
He is he's like one of the main zombies in Land of the Dead. Do you remember him in that?
Yes.
Uh,
James Downey and Fred Wolf.
yeah.
They're like Happy Madison dudes.
Gary Coleman,
Mm-hmm.
obviously,
Uh,
uh,
Adam
with
Sandler.
Adam Sandler in that really hilarious scene when
Well, we
Adam.
get Gary Coleman twice.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah,
Hell and Boxing.
yeah. So Adam Sandler's playing Satan in it. And
Yes.
even Gary Coleman gets to do that. What you talking about, Satan? Which I thought was hilarious. John Goodman
Yes.
is in this as well. And what I mentioned, it's not really a cameo, it's more a small part, but Arturo Gill is in
Mm-hmm.
this. Ghoulies Illuminati. So he was one of the Ghoulies from Ghoulies 4, Arturo Gill. And he shows up in this as well. He is the oh, and Rebecca Romijn as well is in it.
Yes.
Her name I didn't put down there. She is the bearded lady who shows up with Arturo Gill. So yeah, it's absolutely loaded with a lot of these are uncredited as well.
Yes.
So I guess they
I
just
don't even think Adam Sandler's in the IMDb, but he's
no,
definitely
he's
there.
he's in there. Yeah, I think he's completely uncredited.
And we could even be
Uh,
forgetting somebody. Like that's how
oh yeah, they're
many people
probably
are in this.
more than likely. Yeah, there probably is more in there as well. Um, but yeah, it's just so many, and it was just like, oh wow, they're in it. Oh wow, oh wow, and it just adds something. Even the film's crazy anyway and silly and stuff, but it adds even more just seeing all these famous faces.
Yeah, so Fred Wolf also directed, wrote Black Sheep
Ah,
and Grown
okay,
Ups
yeah,
2.
Chris
So
Farley.
Grown Ups
Hmm
1, so he is a Happy Madison regular.
hmm hmm
He also wrote Joe Dirt, go figure.
Nice.
Another absolute banger of a movie that has this vibe, doesn't it?
Hmm Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, I feel kind of sad I didn't watch this back in the day, back in the late '90s, because I would absolutely, I love it now, but I would have absolutely loved it as well back in the
Chevy
day.
Chase's character is Dr. Farting.
But it just didn't get a big release in the UK at all. I mean, it's very American centric, like I said, all the
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live cast. For some reason, Norm Macdonald wasn't really a star over here,
Mm-hmm.
and nor Artie Lang, shall we say? Chris Farley was pretty well known, obviously, like for Black Sheep and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of one of those films that went well under my radar. And I'm not even sure if it had a cinema release over here. I think it might have gone straight to VHS.
In the
Yeah.
script, Mitch, to the men who just raped him. You fellows have a lot of growing up to do. I'll tell you that. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. You believe these characters? Way out of line. Way out of line. Have a good mind to go back and tell the warden about this. You know what hurts the most? Is the lack of respect. You know? That's what hurts the most. Expect for the other thing. That hurts the most. But the lack of respect, that hurts the second most. I love it. That is
Yeah, there's just so many crazy, funny scenes. I mean, I highlighted for me the dead hooker and the trunk joke was hilarious
I'll
because
tell you what, I'll give
it
you a
just kept
dollar
going
each
on.
to go into this building. Hear me
Yeah,
around screaming. That's not very nice, but I think you'll need like some psycho out of control homeless guys. Yeah, we're more the broken spirited, like
yeah.
lost a little live type. And he's like, well, how about $2? And then it fucking abruptly cuts to them inside. Ah!
And that poor guy as well, the poor homeless guy, he's telling him his story afterwards. Like, oh man, you finally give me meaning, purpose in my life. And
Yes.
then the next bit cuts and he's just stood there by himself, everyone else has disappeared. But
I
yeah,
like
Dead Hooker
the
joke.
fight scenes too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fucking barf scene. When Chris Farley goes up to the jukebox, he's like,
Oh yeah.
G7.
G7.
And she's like, you hit G8. Huh?
Yeah.
If you like me. And they just get their ass walloped. And they continuously try to fight people in this movie and get destroyed.
Yeah, yeah. There was a bit of a Goose Go to College vibe as well with the whole dorm house, well, all the
Yes.
pranks. Obviously, when they're after that bar fight scene, they're outside dressed as cops, aren't they?
Yes.
Ringing the guys in the frown, then this guy's dressed as cops going to turn up on your doorstep. But yeah, the dead hooker and trunk joke just went on. It was hilarious how they just kept opening all the trunks. Dead hooker here, there's a dead hooker here, there's a dead hooker there. And obviously led into the Saigon horse scene as well of Chris Farley who was watching on
Yeah.
TV. But just the cinema scene when they change out the cinema reel for Men in Black who have
Note
sex.
to self.
Yeah,
Sam,
yeah. Oh, yeah, he turns
Sam
around.
looked at the screen. I wanted to see if it was still. Never mind.
It's just so stupid, but it's so funny at the same
Yeah.
time. Obviously, the donut scene I've only seen on that documentary, but that would have been hilarious left in the film. And just the fish scene in the gang, in like when they go to that house because they're saying the guys they're having the late night parties. And they put all the fish everywhere, and they go and hide, and it turns out they're like gangsters in there.
Oh my god! So what's funny is the Vincent release. That's the menu. Is that long
Okay.
shot of them sitting there?
Oh
They
yeah, like
have that
holding the
playing
fish.
in a loop, but you
Oh
can't
really?
tell that the loop ends. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just Artie Lang and Norm Macdonald standing
I was
there,
laughing.
and like a bunch of shooting and shit going on, and they're just
Yeah. Just like an extended scene in it where they're
it
holding a
is
fish. Like,
easily the best Vincent menu I've ever seen.
Mhm.
just because it's red. But that scene's hilarious. Like
Yeah, yeah. So it starts off
the
so silly, and they're like laughing.
it
And the
should
next
have
bit,
won like awards for sound production because
mhm.
that scene tells you everything that's going on. And then of course Norm sells it when he walks out of the fucking room.
Mhm.
Oh God! Good lord! uh, fuck yeah, this
Yeah,
movie's
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was shockingly surprised. It was, yeah, right up my sort of humor, this
And it,
film.
joke after joke after joke, and they never can seem to do anything right. And of course, we haven't even mentioned like the subplot with Pops. So like
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald
Mhm.
was like kind of raised by this Pops guy because his dad was kind of like what, not there or whatever.
Not around, yeah, yeah.
And so he like when Pops gets sick, and the whole intro to Pops, when Pops is the old dude sitting there watching the exercise tapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, honey. Oh yeah. It's great stuff. But anyway, when he has his heart attack and stuff, and he reveals that Sam and Mitch are brothers,
Yeah.
that's funny as hell too. You know, the whole locket
Mhm.
is like, oh, that's you with my mom. Oh my god.
I was
Like,
happy as well when Pops grabs out the photo album and
yes.
he's got, oh, this is me with your mum, and she was going. He's like, no, I don't want to
Oh,
see that. And he goes,
that's
oh no, it's not
Sam's
your
mom.
mum. Yeah, and he goes, oh, okay. And he takes a look. Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
good.
It's just like so puerile, stupid,
Oh, one of my
dirty
favorite
humor.
things ever. And if you could just watch one scene from this movie, it's
Mhm.
Chris Farley and the Skunks. There is this moment where he's doing a monologue while standing over two caged skunks.
Mhm.
And it's some of his best work. And to know that this is his last movie, technically
Yeah.
Shrek was, but this is. Uh, he is hilarious, but it really just shows you like the intensity that he can really conjure up in an instant.
Mhm.
Like he's getting his whole body into it. He was just like the king of physical comedy. For as big
Mhm.
as he was, he could just move around. And that scene is just so hilarious. Like I can't eat anything or drink anything while watching that because it's just so effective. Just trust me, watch the skunk scene.
Yeah.
It's great. Uh Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald, absolutely awesome here.
Yeah.
Playing like a Mr. Burns type character, this wealthy
Mhm.
real estate guy. He definitely puts his thumb in his dog's ass. He, yeah, he's like the typical Happy Madison type bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, what do you want to say about him? He's the guy to foil here. He's
Asshole. Yeah, he's the
every
asshole in the film.
story has to have a bad guy, and here we
Mhm.
go. And such a good bad guy, especially now with Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. It's topical.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Chevy Chase's bookie subplot that runs throughout the film as well. Super cool. Progressively gets funnier
Mhm.
the more
Yeah.
we see him because he's like slowly like losing the will to live,
Yeah.
but also getting like beat up, like his toes getting shot off, his
Yeah.
arms getting broken and stuff.
Mhm.
It's a really good running gag, and a lot of these
And
like
he's
are
complete. Chevy Chase completely uncredited as well. Isn't
yes.
he in the film? Yeah, you think they'd make a big deal out of that? They'd have his name on the cover or something, but no, not at all. Not even mentioned. I didn't know he's in the. I didn't know he's in the film
I
until I
like
watched
this
it.
character better than his Caddyshack role.
Was it not Caddyshack 2, surely?
No, that movie's awful. Except the theme song. Caddyshack 2's theme song's awesome. Nobody's Fooled by Kenny Loggins. If you know, you know. Keep your eye on the fruit. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that film, guys. So we talked about cameos. We talked about the theme. Well, no, we didn't really talk about themes. This movie actually kind of teaches you some realistic things growing up, but also like taking the punches and
Yeah.
just kind of rolling with them,
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of people have been in this situation where people do you wrong and you really can't do anything about it. Kind of like what the Punisher does, but not to that limit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Where the cops really can't intervene, but somebody's got to do something type stuff. Uh, I think that's where this falls into, right, Paul?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, yeah. There's also a bit of don't take shit from people.
Mhm.
Obviously, when it goes from the when it shows like Norm in present day, or Mitch, should I say? He's obviously when he was a kid at school, he was like the prankster, having all this fun. Now suddenly it cuts to him present day, and he's like a
Where does
pizza
your
delivery
dad
guy.
hide his guns?
Yeah, he's like a pizza delivery guy. Gets sacked from his 14th job or something. His
Yeah.
girlfriend tells him, and
This is
he's
your
basically
14th job in what,
yeah,
3 months?
yeah, he's basically a loser. And he suddenly realizes I need to turn my life around, and I'm not going to
Hey,
take
is
crap
that
from
my
anyone again.
shirt?
Oh, yeah, yeah, which leads to the scene on the now infamous Vinegar Syndrome cover, which I had
Yeah.
no clue what it meant until I watched this movie.
No,
So
it's
yeah,
okay. You can have it.
there's some life lessons in this film. But there's kind of a sad story behind the film, really. I thought behind the making of the film,
Yes,
or the
because
release of the film.
so Norm was very outspoken, both on Saturday Night Live and essentially his entire career. He
Hmm.
refused to be censored in any way, shape, or form. So, as context of who Norm was, if you don't know, before Paul gives you more of the backstory, Paul.
Yeah, so well, I read up on it. So was it? He was a Saturday Night Live guy, Norm
Yes,
was, and right, I think it was right before this film came out. He was fired from Saturday Night Live.
that's because he was making the O.J. Simpson jokes
Yeah, so
every week.
the guy that fired him was the one of the execs at
Do you
CBS.
remember his news report he would do every week, and then he would somehow always
Uh,
end it with an O.J.
Only
Simpson joke?
only from clips I've seen on YouTube in recent years. So I didn't know any of this at the time back in the
Uh,
90s, early 2000s. No,
yeah,
I
they
was
get progressively
not
worse.
familiar at all.
And the
Yeah,
NBC
yeah.
executive told him to stop because they're friends with OJ, and he just kind of like he
Ollmeyer
leaned
was
in
the
even
guy's name.
harder
Yeah, yeah.
until he was fired. So
Hmm. Yeah, so yeah, essentially he was fired, and then this film was coming out, and Don Ollmeyer, the exec, refused to advertise the film or run ads for the show on CBS, not just or not just during Saturday Night Live, but on CBS as a
mhm.
whole, which obviously is a huge thing in America. Um, so it really affected the marketing for the film, and obviously there was a bit of a stigma, I believe, around Norm Macdonald
This
as well
is
at the
every
time
bit
because of that.
good. This is every bit as good as Billy Madison, Happy
Hmm.
Gilmore, and Dumb and Dumber. I would
Yeah,
put
and it
that.
had the PG-13 rating as well.
Yeah,
So I don't understand how surely it can't have been all down to that Don guy and not getting that
you,
marketed on CBS.
you say that, and then like look at Dune,
Yeah.
David Lynch's. Like
Hmm.
all it takes is one executive to be pissed. Look
Yeah.
at the whole situation with Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
all it takes is just one executive to be an
Yeah, yeah,
absolute
yeah.
asshole, and the whole project's ruined. So
Hmm. I think that exec got his comeuppance, didn't he? He was he forced to retire not long after this all
I'm
happened,
gonna give
apparently.
him a Google really quick to see what
Yeah.
that loser's doing
I'm pretty
because
sure I read that he was forced to retire not long or step down from his role not too long after this. I know they overturned they did allow it to get advertised on CBS, but just not during Saturday Night Live.
so he gives
Um,
us a bunch of sports shit, and he's
yeah,
only really known for firing Norm Macdonald. Isn't
yeah,
that funny? His
yeah. There you
entire
go.
life is essentially useless sports shit, and then
Hmm.
firing Norm Macdonald. While he was at NBC, he did the following: 1972 to 1976, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
2000 2001, Monday Night Football. 1986, made for television movies Under Sage. Right to Die. In 1987, 1989, Cold Sassy Tree. These are all made for television movies.
Hmm.
Television specials: Summer Olympic Games 72, Summer Olympic Games 76, Winter Olympic Games 77, Annual Emmy Award 77, Summer Olympic Games 80, Indianapolis 500, 88, Disney on Ice 1990. This guy just kind of produced the specials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How he had the pull to fire one of the most prolific comedians of our time, I have no clue.
No, but it did backfire for him in the end.
Oh, he was an alcoholic, and Norm Macdonald made a joke about it, and that's what got him fired.
Okay. Yeah, that might do it.
Shortly after McDonald was taken off Weekend Update desk, that was his news show, David
Hmm.
Letterman, during a taping, called O'Wire an idiot and made a reference to alcoholism by labeling him Happy Hour Don. Letterman later reconsidered and had remarks removed from broadcasts, but the comment was publicized shortly thereafter in the New York Post. So he wasn't fired for that. David Letterman actually made a joke. He was fired for the scathing jokes on O.J. Simpson's murder trial from
Hmm.
1995. And the
Yeah.
jokes were primarily written by McDonald and Jim Downey, who was also fired at the same time, but
Hmm.
rehired in 2000.
Sucks, man. But yeah, from googling, the film only got about 10 million at the box office in the US, so it didn't even recoup its budget, which was around 13 million. But I did read the execs or the studio decided to change the release date of the film, and they ended up putting it in the summer against Godzilla in 1998,
Matthew
which
Broderick's.
yeah. So obviously it kind of got buried.
Yeah.
Uh,
Awful movie, great marketing campaign.
yeah. I remember. Yeah,
In the
the movie's
States, it
alright.
was like in the Burger King and stuff. So, like, all the
Yeah, it
kids
was it.
about it. I
I
mean, it's
remember
not
seeing the
awful,
trailer.
but like compared to like the upper echelon of Godzilla movies, it's Poop Town.
I remember in the UK watching Titanic, and there was a trailer for Godzilla before Titanic. So literally, the entirety of the UK must have seen that Godzilla trailer because everyone saw Titanic.
Mhm.
So yeah, toys were everywhere. But yeah, so getting anything that released the same week as that was probably going to get forgotten. So sadly, yeah, that's kind of what happened with this movie, from what I've read. But yeah, I don't even think it got a cinema release here in the UK. I think we must have had it straight to video, which sucks. I only ever remember seeing the cover on the shelf and not really knowing any of the stars that were on the cover. Didn't know about the cameos. So yeah, that's my excuse for not seeing it. But yeah, I would say it is very very funny, and I can almost forgive Vinegar Syndrome now for that cover because it is a funny scene from the film. It's only a very short scene, but yeah, it does relate to the film.
Note to self: learn how to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Wake
like
up, slut! Well. We meet again. Nose biter! Time to pay the fiddler, whore! Who writes this shit? Note to self: making love to a blow up doll is not as good as advertised. Note to self: no matter how bad life gets, there's always beer. Infinitely quotable. Am I right,
Mhm.
Paul?
Definitely, yeah. And I've only seen it twice, and picking up on all this stuff.
Fuck yeah. So it is on Tubi TV if we haven't mentioned that already. And of course, if you want to see that dirtier cut, the better cut of the film, the Norm Macdonald,
Yeah,
Bob Saget version, Vinegar Syndrome. It
there's
is an awesome box set you get there.
there's a
And
lot of work that went into that just by
yes.
watching the YouTube doc. It's like wow. Yeah, they
And when
actually
I
had a
say box set, there's like a hard slipcover box and then like this, like a little book. And then you get like a slipcovered movie. So it's double slipcovered with a book.
yeah. It looks cool. There was a recording of the premiere of this film in its dirtier version, which
Mm-hmm.
they used to put this cut together. They said they had to use like the sound bites they
To
got
know
from
where
this
it went.
from a
Yeah.
VHS of someone filming the cinema screening to
That's
put into the
hilarious.
film. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like some of this, they showed a clip of
They've done Severin. Believe it or not, actually, that movie Skin Deep. We should actually talk about that. Have we
yeah.
talked about Skin Deep?
Off camera we have. I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't done an episode on it.
Severin actually took the dailies, the original dailies from that movie, and put it back
We're
together.
talking the Warwick Davis film.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
pretty
think we
crazy
talked
stuff.
about it off there. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's a scene in this film which been seen restored. It was at the opera near the end when
Yes,
uh, they get his tape over the loudspeaker, his
yes,
note to self, and it reads out one of his jokes. Now in the dirtier cut, it's a different joke, but the
yes.
only sound they've got was Norm just saying it. like literally just saying it as like a line. So they actually, I think they used a bit of AI and a bit of
They did. They make it to make it actually sound like what it's
yeah,
supposed
like
to.
it's from the film. So yeah, it's super clever stuff what they've done just to get this version out there.
Remember, they took that New York Ninja movie that only had
I wasn't
video,
even finished, was it?
and they were
Yeah.
able to recreate the entire movie with an ensemble voice cast
Hmm.
and essentially a whole sound design, and be able to bring the film back to life.
Yeah, yeah. If you, I'm going to see that film,
It's
CJ, in
so good, dude.
September.
Like not in all of film history. It's not like they were, but like what they were able to do with it, they
Hmm.
make it like an awesome cheesy martial arts film.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Dirt in the Gate movies in the UK because they will be showing that on the
Yeah.
big screen in September.
You know what I'm gonna go
Um,
see, Paul? The anniversary
that new
release.
Marvel film.
No, what? The anniversary release of Ninja Turtles for my birthday in a couple weeks.
Nice. Oh, what
Yeah.
the 1990 Turtles? I hope.
It is
Yeah,
the
it must be.
1990.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, for that year. Yeah.
What is it? The
Oh,
35th anniversary?
yeah, it must be 1990. It came out, didn't the
Mm-hmm.
original Turtles? Yeah, yeah. Excellent. I don't know if they're showing it over here. I haven't seen any news on it.
You should though. Paul, what do you
Yeah,
would
I
you
will do
rate
if they
this
show it,
movie
man.
out of 5?
I'm gonna say 4 out of 5 because it completely took me aback how funny this film was. I wasn't sure, you know, from even the Vincent cover without seeing the film kind of put me off a little bit. But my only experience of this in the UK was seeing a cover on the shelf and never watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel sad that I didn't watch it back in the day. But yeah, it's just so many funny scenes. It's silly. It's probably not for everyone, but anyone that's into like the silly humor of like Dumb and Dumber, Farrelly Brothers stuff, anything like that, it's that sort of humor. And I did see on that doc as well that people said this is a kind of ahead of its time
Yeah, it is.
because it came out, didn't do very well, and suddenly not long after this, the American Pies came out, Dumb and Dumbers, all the stuff with this similar humor, and they all did really well, like massive box office. So
It's because of
had
that
this film come
executive.
out around then, yeah, had this film come out after, then maybe it would have made a whole lot of more money. But yeah, easy 4 out of 5 for me. How about you?
Perfect.
Yeah,
5 out of 5. I'm gonna say this is one of the best comedy films ever made.
cool. Yeah,
Just my
it'll be
opinion.
hard.
I'm not a big comedy guy, but I think in the echelon of comedy films, I
Hmm.
think this one holds its own, just because the story is fun, it's engaging, but it also doesn't stick around too long. Like this is an hour and 23 minutes. You're in, you're out. It
Yeah.
gives you everything you need, and it really doesn't need a follow up. It's just its own self contained story, and I love everything about it. The cast can't get better. The performances can't get better. And after seeing the dirtier cut, honestly,
Hmm.
best movie out there.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd give this
Yeah.
a perfect score. I don't give that a lot, but God willing, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, buddy. Fuck yeah, you did a good job. Same with Bob Saget, man.
Hmm.
Uh, masterful work here. Masterful work. Speaking of dead and people that have passed, last week we talked about Ozzy.
Mm.
And this guy we're going to talk about here, and this is kind of not related to the movie this week. I'll let Paul talk about this guy because he was more of a fan than I was.
Hmm.
Paul,
Yeah, we lost the immortal Hulk Hogan. Passed away, 71 years old. Literally, yeah, out of nowhere. Actually, I say out of nowhere, but there was some news rumors for the last few
yeah,
weeks. Like, is it Bubba the Love Sponge saying that he's in a real bad way? Other people saying no, no, he's fine. He's in hospital for routine stuff. But yeah, shockingly, passed away. Cardiac arrest, I believe it was.
yeah,
Um,
he wasn't producing enough oxygen for himself.
yeah, so real sad. Probably made wrestling what it is today.
Yeah, he
I
was
would
on
say,
arguably the biggest box office draw of
yeah,
his time, and then of course in 1998 was honestly one of the reasons, if not the reason, that WCW was even competitive
yeah,
with WWE at the time. His heel
kind of,
turn
yeah,
was the biggest and still is the biggest of its time. John Cena, you did it again, but like it doesn't touch to that
not quite.
1997
No,
Bash at
no.
the Beach promo that
Hmm.
literally turned the entire industry on its head, never to be replicated again. Uh, I have trouble separating Terry Bollea with Hulk Hogan. That's
Mm.
my main issue. Uh, I also don't think Hulk ever was a good wrestler. Like his in ring
Yeah,
work
kind of
wasn't
didn't
the
need to though.
best.
A bit like the Ultimate
When he
Warrior.
was in Japan, he was fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
talking like his in ring stuff is just mostly brawling and leg drops. I'm
Hmm.
more of a Ric Flair guy myself, but I understand and recognize the greatness
Hmm.
that was Hulk Hogan
Yeah, the
and what
charisma and all
he's
that stuff.
responsible for, essentially, like you said, the
Yeah, yeah,
industry and the business being what it is today. He is
absolutely.
the definition of superstar.
Hmm.
And there's a reason that he is the most recognizable wrestler of all time. That's not
Yeah,
named Ric Flair. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's massive, massive news in the world of wrestling. He got a 10 bell salute on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT.
AEW, you skipped the mark. Tony Khan, you fucked up.
AEW. He had a, no, he mentioned it, didn't he? He
Shivani
did
did,
like yeah, Shivani did, yeah. So yeah,
but
so
only
yeah,
after
huge.
Twitter backlash.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's been a lot of online chatter, both
Yeah.
sides.
So this is the first time, where I've seen like a lot of hate come out when a celebrity dies. Like
Mm,
myself, people have trouble separating Terry Bollea from the Hulk Hogan character, and I can see that, especially if you are intertwined with the social issues of today.
mm-hmm.
He was very abrasive with a lot of his comments, and yeah, it just doesn't fly. It
No,
sucks because he kind of had like, he's on the upswing right now. He was buying a bar across the street from Madison Square Garden. He had a beer brand going on, and he had a
yeah,
wrestling company that he was starting with Eric
yeah, yeah.
Bischoff. Uh, I'm interested to see how that stuff plays out in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, like, can you go on without the immortal one?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I'm sure his shop. He's got several shops now, hasn't he?
Several.
Several, yeah. So I imagine they'll carry on. Um, I don't know. It's hard to imagine him not being around. To be fair,
Yeah.
love him or hate him, he was Mr. Wrestling. I guess he was the reason we had WrestleMania. Really, he made WrestleMania, and then obviously, yeah, lots of controversies. But I just remember him for the. I'm always been an Ultimate Warrior guy, and I know he is probably not the best person in real life, but as a pure spectacle, WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, man, that was my all-time favorite match. Obviously, I was at an age at that time there, just it was the most incredible thing. So I'll always remember him for that, passing the torch to the Warrior. And I actually got to meet Hulk uh, 2018, no, 2017, I think it was.
The
29.
picture's legend.
Yeah, yeah. And this is at his shop in Orlando, Florida. Um, and I was with my American friends, and they didn't want to go meet him because they were at a horror convention. So I went by myself. I got a taxi, and I was dressed up as the Ultimate Warrior, like full on Ultimate Warrior outfit, massive padded bodysuit, the Trick or Treat Studios mask, all that good stuff. And I was like, I don't know what Hulk's going to say, man, because obviously this is back in 2017 or so.
Yeah.
Obviously they had a bit of rivalry, but no, he was super cool. There's a massive queue to meet him, and I had my outfit on, and I kept giving him the gorilla press line from a distance, and he was like pointing at me, and he's like, "Never should have done it, brother. Never should have done it." Talking about WrestleMania 6, you know. And yeah, he was cool, man. He was obviously with the fans. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm going to remember Hulk Hogan, legend.
What
Yeah,
sucks is we're gonna have to do the same thing with Rick someday, and
yeah,
I'm actually gonna be upset.
yeah. And Rick was very upset when Rick was on. Was it
Yo, his
TMZ?
12-minute crying video on TMZ was
Yeah, yeah.
rough.
It's uh, it's been interesting seeing the wrestlers' reactions. Some of the
Yeah.
a lot of people coming out and saying that he's one of the greatest of all time.
One of my best friends, Corey Kaufman, he was a big Hulk Hogan fan, and he was
Hmm.
extremely, extremely affected by the loss of him.
Yeah.
Made a big post and stuff. We talked about a lot of Hulk matches on our podcast when we had Jerk the Curtain. That was a tremendous show, and I really enjoyed him
Hmm.
reflecting on his absolute love of Hogan. And I felt worse for Corey than I did anything because That dude lived and breathed Hulk.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
Mm.
crazy. I'm getting choked
Mhm.
up just thinking about because I feel bad for him.
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
uh,
man.
but it's rough. It's rough on a lot of people. And if you love the
Yeah,
guy, you love the guy, and that's the world is completely different. And
yeah.
without him, it sucks.
Same
We
with
lost a
Ozzy.
lot of good people. Yeah, same with Ozzy. Today
Yeah.
was his funeral. It
Yeah, I
was hard
saw
to see.
the huge crowds in Birmingham. So yeah, yeah, man.
How
Sad
far is that from
times.
you?
Birmingham, it's like I could drive there in about hour and a half, an hour and a quarter. So yeah, it's what mid. Yeah, not too far away.
And with zero pollution.
Yeah, yep. I could probably get there and back without charging. I reckon
This
maybe.
is
Yeah.
the only fully green podcast.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Aside from sad stuff, yeah. Rip Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street box set went live on Amazon today. For those of you who didn't get the Steelbook, pretty cool stuff. 4K UHD. Which does suck is that Paul and I are not on the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 disc as a commentary. Uh, Essentially, it's Bob Shea being cheap.
Best
But
one.
anyway, I won't hold grudges. I'll still get it anyway because I love the series. And you know what also I love, Paul? Is I love all the listeners here at Project Louder. And if you like this podcast and want to listen to other podcasts just like this one, head on over to projectlouder.net or anywhere else you consume audio only content. And that includes, but is not limited to, Spotify, Google, Amazon, YouTube, and all of that stuff. We're on like 35 different platforms. We're everywhere. You just have to search Celluloid, Psychosis, or Project Louder. You will find us. But that has been our review of Dirty Work and a little bit of news. That is Paul Ashford. I am TJ Bowser. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Tally ho.